Dog pound, stop scrolling, and listen closely because what I am about to tell you is going to change how you view this entire chaotic offseason. We thought we were just losing a defensive coordinator, but it turns out the Cleveland Browns front office might be playing a game of 4D chess that none of us saw coming. This isn't just about a coach leaving, this is about turning a betrayal into a building block for the future. Before we dive into the madness, do me a huge favor and smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you never miss an update on this wild ride. Listen, I know how it feels right now. It has been an emotional roller coaster. One minute we are frustrated, the next we are confused, and the rumors are flying so fast it is impossible to keep up. But I need you to stay with me because when you peel back the layers of this Jim Schwartz situation, it actually starts to look like a masterclass in front office strategy. We are potentially on the verge of flipping a complete disaster into an unexpected win, and it all comes down to the fine print. Let's talk about Jim Schwartz. The man shocked the entire organization by resigning. He walked away. He seemingly quit on the process. But here is the kicker that has me absolutely fired up. The Cleveland Browns still technically own his NFL rights. Yes, you heard that right. Schwartz is under contract through 2026, and the team holds a critical option for 2027. That means he can resign all he wants, he can pack his bags, but his rights belong to Cleveland. If he wants to coach anywhere else in this league, that team has to come through us first. Now, I have to ask you something right off the bat to get your mind working. Is this petty, or is this genius business management? Hold that thought. Tony Grossi reported that a league source confirmed the Browns are retaining Schwartz's rights, effectively opening the door for trade compensation. NFL insider Albert Breer backed this up. Now, I know Mary Kay Cabot mentioned that trading a coach isn't usually possible under certain rules, but notice she didn't shut the door completely. Why? Because there is precedent. We have seen this movie before. Remember Sean Payton? Coaches under contract are assets. And right now, Jim Schwartz is a distressed asset that we control. Imagine the scene. Schwartz is unhappy. Maybe he didn't get the promotion he wanted, maybe he just wanted out. He tries to walk. But instead of Andrew Berry just waving goodbye and wishing him luck, the organization grabs the contract and says, "Not so fast." They are effectively telling the league, "You want our guy. You pay for him." That is the kind of ruthlessness we have been begging for. It is smart business. Even if the breakup was ugly, Schwartz is still a top-tier defensive mind. He has value. And you know who is desperate for value right now? The Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are sniffing around. They need a defensive coordinator bad. They have struck out on the big names. Raheem Morris is gone, Jonathan Gannon is gone, Anthony Weaver is off the board. Vegas is running out of options, and they are staring at a massive hole in their coaching staff. This puts Cleveland in an incredible bargaining position. We can sit back and say, "Hey, we have a guy who can fix your defense immediately." But it is going to cost you. Vegas might try to argue that since he resigned, we have no leverage. But that is false. The leverage is the contract. No compensation, no Schwartz. It is that simple. So, here is the big question, the question of the day that I need you to answer in the comments section right now. If the Raiders finally cave and offer a 6th-round pick for Jim Schwartz, do you make that trade immediately, or do you hold out for more just to send a message? I want to see your debates down below. Take the pick or play hardball. Let's be realistic about the return. Nobody is giving up a 1st or 2nd round pick for a defensive coordinator. That's fantasy land. But a 6th rounder. Maybe a 7th that turns into a 6th. That is absolutely on the table. And if Andrew Berry pulls that off, it is a legendary move. Think about it. We already own 3 5th-round picks. If you add another 6th-rounder to the war chest simply for letting go of a guy who doesn't even want to be here. That is the definition of maximizing value. That is how you build a dynasty, by getting something for nothing. Of course, there is a chance a deal doesn't happen. If the offseason drags on and the Raiders decide to pivot to a college coach or a lower-tier assistant, the Browns might eventually just have to release Schwartz. But I don't see that happening yet. Why would we? Why release him for free in February when you can squeeze a desperate team in March? Cleveland is holding all the cards. We are dictating the pace. And for a franchise that has been the punching bag for so long, it feels incredible to be the one holding the hammer. But wait, because this offseason story gets even deeper. While the coaching drama is grabbing the headlines, there is a player narrative bubbling under the surface that could define our next decade. We need to talk about Shedeur Sanders. I know. The name Sanders brings a circus with it. But strip away the Coach Prime headlines for a second. Deion has already shut down the rumors. He is not coming to coach here. He made that crystal clear after everything his family went through last year. But the buzz inside the Browns building regarding Shedeur is real, and it is getting loud. Shedeur was our 5th-round pick in 2024. A lottery ticket. A flyer. But now, in 2026, he is looking like he might be the winning ticket. Shelby Harris, our veteran defensive tackle, recently came out and gave a glowing endorsement of the young quarterback. He didn't just say he's a good kid. He called him intelligent, vocal, and a great locker room presence. He said Shedeur gets an unfair reputation because of his last name. When a veteran in the trenches, a guy who has seen it all, vouches for a young quarterback like that, you listen. It means the locker room respects him. It means he isn't just a celebrity's son, he's a grinder. Think about the implications here. If Shedeur Sanders actually wins the starting job this year, we have hit the jackpot. I'm talking about the holy grail of football economics. A franchise quarterback on a 5th-round rookie contract. Do you realize what that does for our salary cap? It frees up millions of dollars to spend on the offensive line, on weapons, on defense. It keeps our championship window wide open. And let's be honest about the marketing. Shedeur is a superstar. He brings national eyes to Cleveland. If he succeeds, the Browns go from being a gritty, regional obsession to a national powerhouse brand. He is polarizing, sure. Fans either love him or love to hate him. But that brings energy. That brings primetime games. That brings an edge to the franchise that we haven't had in a long time. So we are sitting here with leverage on Schwartz and a potential goldmine in Sanders. For once, the Cleveland Browns are not the victims of the offseason, we are the protagonists. We are writing the script. The next few weeks are going to shape everything. This isn't just about trading a coach, it is about signaling a new era of front office decisiveness. It is about Andrew Berry looking at a bad hand, a resigning coordinator, and bluffing his way into a winning pot. If we flip Schwartz for a draft pick, even a late one, it sets a tone. It says, we don't panic. We pivot. And regarding Shedeur, the noise is only going to get louder. The Deion coaching rumors are dead, but the Shedeur as QB1 conversation is just starting to heat up. And honestly, there is a real argument that he should be the guy. Look at the roster. We aren't flush with options. We don't have a 10-year vet entrenched as the starter. The door is wide open. Remember, Shedeur played his college ball under the brightest, most intense spotlight imaginable. He faced adversity. He faced scrutiny. That was NFL training camp before he even got to the NFL. He is not going to be rattled by the Cleveland media. He is built for this pressure. And if the players are rallying behind him, if the vets are buying in, then half the battle is already won. We have to look at the bigger picture. With Schwartz potentially on the way out and Sanders on the rise, this offseason is about redefining our identity. We are at a crossroads. We have stockpiled picks. We have the contracts in place. Now it is about execution. Holding Schwartz's rights hostage isn't petty, it is tactical warfare. It tells the rest of the league that the Browns are not a stepping stone. You don't come here, use us, and leave without paying a toll. If the Raiders cough up that pick, and Shedeur steps up to deliver even average starting quarterback play, the return on investment for this offseason will be off the charts. A coach who quit becomes a draft asset. A late-round flyer becomes a franchise face. That is how the Ravens operate. That is how the Chiefs operate. That is how good teams stay good. There is a palpable energy shift happening. Can you feel it? Usually, by this time in the winter, we are talking about dysfunction. We are talking about leaks and confusion. But right now, there is a sense of control. Even amidst the drama, there is a plan. The Browns are posturing with clarity. They aren't letting the optics of a hostage situation scare them. They are doing what is best for the roster, period. Look, nothing is guaranteed. Maybe the Raiders call our bluff. Maybe Schwartz sits on his couch for a year. Maybe Shedeur struggles in camp. That is the nature of the beast. But for the first time in years, I feel like Cleveland is playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. And don't overlook how this feeds into the draft. Andrew Berry loves volume. He loves having more darts to throw at the board. If we get that extra sixth rounder, that is one more chance to find a hidden gem, one more chance to find the next depth piece that helps us win a playoff game. This front office thrives on day 3 of the draft. Giving them more ammo is dangerous for the rest of the AFC North. So, why not play hardball? Why not squeeze every ounce of value out of Jim Schwartz? He doesn't want to be here. Fine. But we control the exit door. And until we get our toll, that door stays shut. As for Shedeur, the key word is patience. We have time. We don't need to force him. Let him develop. Let the locker room continue to embrace him naturally. Let the media spin their narratives while he puts in the work in Berea. That slow burn is often how the best quarterbacks are made. We might be witnessing the quiet foundation of a new era, one that isn't built on flashy free agent signings that bust after a year, but on smart asset management and internal development. This offseason could be the turning point we look back on in 5 years. Not because of a blockbuster trade that shook the world, but because Cleveland handled its business with intent. We handled it with swagger. If we pull this off, trade Schwartz, get the pick, start the Shedeur era, we are going to look back at this awkward, frustrating February and say, that was the moment. That was the moment the Browns stopped being the team things happened to, and started being the team making things happen. That is why you have to stay locked in. The next big break doesn't always come with a fireworks show. Sometimes it starts with a quiet, calculated power move. I want to know what you think. Are you buying stock in Shedeur? Are you ready to fleece the Raiders? Let me know. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and make sure you click on the video on the screen right now to keep the conversation going. Go Browns!